Good morning, students. This is Ms. Khyati Dwarkadas presenting poverty as a challenge. Now, last time we had learned about the causes of poverty, and in this video we are going to learn about anti-poverty measures. When we talk of anti-poverty measures, one of the major objectives of the Indian government under its developmental strategy has been removal of poverty. The current anti-poverty strategy of the government is broadly based on two planks. Number one, promotion of economic growth, and number two, targeted anti-poverty programs. Now, over a period of 30 years, children, lasting up to the early 1980s, there were little per capita income growth and not much reduction in poverty. The official poverty estimates were about 45% in the early 50s and remained the same even in the early 80s. Since the 80s, India's economic growth has been one of the fastest in the world, and the growth rate has been jumping at about 3.5% to about 6% every decade. The higher growth rates have helped significantly in the reduction of poverty. Therefore, the striking link between economic growth and poverty reduction are visible. Economic growth widens opportunities and provides the resources needed to invest in human development. This encourages the girl child to go to school, getting better economic returns once there is investment in human capital. The poor may not be able to take direct advantage from the opportunities created by the government in economic growth. Now, children, poverty reduction and economic growth go hand in hand. Why? Because the more there is reduction of poverty, will there be economic growth. However, growth in the agricultural sector is much below expectations, and this has a direct effect on poverty as a large number of poor people live in villages and are dependent on agriculture. In these circumstances, there is a clear need for anti-poverty programs which are targeted at removing poverty. So, like I was telling you, economic growth and poverty reduction go hand in hand. The poor can now go to school if anti-poverty measures are targeted, and if health care is provided, then there will be a much better country than what we have. Although there are many schemes which are formulated to affect poverty directly or indirectly, some of them are worth mentioning. And today we are going to focus on only one such scheme. The first scheme that we are going to talk about is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. I repeat, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. It's also called NREGA, or the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, or it's also called MNREGA, which is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Formulated in the year 2005, it is a scheme of the central government. It aims to provide 100 days of wage employment to every household in rural areas to ensure livelihood security for them in the rural areas. It also aimed to sustainable development to address the cause of drought, deforestation, and soil erosion. 1/3 of the jobs have been reserved for women. The scheme provides employment to 220 crore persons or 220 crore person days of employment to 4.78 crore households. The share of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women person days in the scheme are 23%, 17% and 53% respectively for the SCs and STs. The average wage has increased from 65 to 132. Recently, in March 2018, the wage rate for unskilled manual workers has been revised state-wise, and the range of wage rate for different states and union territories lies between rupees 281 per day for workers in Haryana to rupees 168 per day for workers in Bihar and Jharkhand. So that could be a little homework. What is it currently in 2020? What is the wage rate in states like Maharashtra, UP, Rajasthan and Bihar, especially during the lockdown when people migrated back to their states and are now returning back home or back to work in different states. At the same time, until I meet you again with another scheme for anti-poverty measures or the poverty alleviation programs, stay home, stay safe, live well. Goodbye. Thank you and have a nice day, children.